Well, we're on our way to the antique stores today. My husband is driving so that I can give you an idea of what it looks like where we live. Miles of cornfields. Now we're coming into the city of Hillsdale, Michigan, which is not a very big city. It's a nice town, though. We come here quite often. In fact, we come here to shop. It's about 18 miles from where we live, and this is where the grocery stores are. And there's resale shops and a few antique stores here, and we'll visit a new one when I'm finished with the ones we're going to first. Now we're on our way to Allen, and it doesn't take very long to get back out into farm country here. It's just quite sudden. And Allen, Michigan is a place that has quite a few antique stores, large antique malls that take quite a while to walk through. We're going to go visit some of the ones that are just outside of the town of Allen, and it's a grouping called the Allen's Antique Market, and here we are. Now, I had a number of booths in some of these malls over the years, and I haven't had any since COVID started. I shut mine down right when COVID started. But we're going to walk into this one first. I had 2 stalls in this one. There's some Christmas ornaments, vintage. There's a few vintage dolls. The first one, the big one, looks like it's a reproduction of the China head dolls. And this is a combination of new Americana folk art and antiques. And there's some cookbooks there. Prices are pretty good, but I don't really see anything that I need today, although I have purchased from this seller quite often. I've actually bought 18th century pottery and fireplace implements from this person. And there's a little composite doll, probably from, I don't know, the 1940s maybe. This is a pretty big place, and there's a lot of dealers in here. So I won't be able to visit every single stall, but I see a dollhouse here. It's pretty large. It looks like a 1/6 size, a Barbie doll size. But this is much older than Barbie. $69. I'd like to have it, but it's so big I don't have room for it. Not now, anyway. I'll walk around the back. But I'm going to walk around the back and see what it looks like on the inside. It looks like a handmade job, which I really like, especially the vintage ones. Yeah, this is probably from the late 1940s because of the wallpaper and the linoleum on the floors. Looks like they cut a piece of linoleum out for each floor. This room doesn't have wallpaper, it's painted. This one does. The designs on the linoleum floors, are interesting. And that one has wallpaper. It's a kind of colonial. And that one has more of a kitchen look to it. Boy, I'd like to have this. Some father made this for his daughter, no doubt. And I'm not sure what sort of dolls they would have used. Maybe if it's from the 50s, they could have used Betsy McCall dolls in this, the smaller ones. There were 1/6 size dolls. Right off the top of my head, I can't remember any of the names or brands from the 40s and 50s. And of course, Barbie came in the 60s. She came out in 1959, actually. And those are the dolls I collect, are from 1959 to 1967, the Barbie dolls. Well, I won't get that dollhouse, but let me look at this yarn winder antique one. That's a nice one. $95. It's not a bad price. I'd like to have that, but I'm not going to buy it today. That looks like a reproduction little cabinet. Oh, here's some more doll furniture. This looks like kind of like Plasco doll furniture. There's a chair. I'm going to get that. That's $2. And a bench or a couch. I'm going to get that. I think I'll get the other chair too. I'm putting it in my basket. I'm sorry, I should take more time. That's a Polly Pocket, I think. Newer thing, probably from the late 60s. I think I'm going to get this little box. I could put new windows in it and take off the Halloween decorations on the top and make that into something. It already has shingles on it, and the shingles are wood. I'd love to have these school desks, but no room. I have a thing for the tin trucks and Tonka toy trucks, but I'll pass on those too. I'm going to just continue on. I'm not going to be able to visit every single booth here because it's just too huge. So I'm just looking around to see what I can see next. There's some taxidermy. Oh, I see something. Not those two in the front, those dolls, but that one in the back looks like a Flagg Dollhouse doll. And I think Flagg was in production from the late 1940s through the 1980s, but they made flexible dollhouse dolls, 7-inch to 8-inch. If that one is a Flagg doll, then it's probably from the late 40s and 50s. I'll have to get the cashier to come down with a key at the end. It's a long way back there, so I don't want to stop. And I'm not going to go into every single booth. Here's some fabric. I don't like the looks of that, but you can see these notions and threads. Yeah, I'm not going to get that either. I have a lot of that type of thread right now. So, there's something I can use for making Christmas ornaments. It's $1.50. It's an old pipe pan. It's probably a doll pipe pan. And there's a cake pan, but I don't need that. I've got quite a few of these. $1.50. Good price. So I'll take the pie pan, and there's another little wooden house, but that looks new. That's just folk art. $24. There's a metal roof. Let's see what it looks like inside. Yeah, you could probably cut the windows out of that and put better windows in it, but I think I'll pass on it right now. And yeah, it's not a bad price. And here's some biscuit cutters, but they're a little too deep for Christmas ornaments, so I think I'll pass on those. I love that chair. It's probably from the 1940s. Looks very well made. It has some handmade elements to it. Could be a handmade chair. $89. I might have to come back tomorrow, put that on hold, and buy that. I really like this chair. Looks comfortable too. I love that tray down there, that piece of glass, and it's beautiful. And here's some games and buttons. Let's see if there's any buttons I don't already have. I have some like that. I have a huge glass jar of buttons, and the buttons date back to the 1900s, and they're from my mother and from my husband's mother, and they go all the way up into the 70s. So I do have a lot of buttons, but I'm always looking for warning buttons and buttons that are glass instead of plastic, or shell buttons, even wooden buttons or metal buttons, but these are all plastic, and I have these. I have versions of these, so I guess I'll pass on these, but they're nice. Some of them are on the original cards, and some of them have been put on new pieces of card. An erector set. Hey, that looks like it's from the 50s, late 50s. My brothers had one like that. Oh, there's one of those Ideal. I think that's an Ideal dollhouse or a Marks lithograph on tin. That's nice. I like that. I think it's $60. It's a nice one. Someday I'll buy one, but not right now. I'm going to pass on that. But I think it's pretty nice. I like the colonial look to it. Here's some reproduction Bastille paper ornaments. The originals, if you can find them, are really valuable. A lot of people collect Halloween ephemera and folk art, and I have some, but I don't want the reproductions. Thank you very much. There's some more Bastille printed on tin, and those are reproductions from the cardboard ones that they used to sell. Some new stuff. Coffee House Flagg, Witch's Brew. Stop in for a spell. Another erector set, that's an older one. I think that might be from the 1940s. And very nice. Here's some, oh yeah, this is rug hooking with strips of wool made into little ornaments. There's corn, and the kitties are really cute. I'd like to buy one of those, but I have so much Halloween stuff right now, I'm probably not going to do that if I can get out of here without buying it. Here's another one. They're well made. I really like these. It's this classic American folk art. And they're $12, which is not a bad price. That's a lot of work to make these. My mother used to do rug hooking, and she even had a machine that cut the strips. And there's some wool strips. Those are the kind of wool strips you can cut and use for rug hooking. There's a nice piece of wool, though, for $3.50. I'm going to buy that. I can make something out of that. There's quite a bit there. Looks like there's about 1.5 yards. Really nice. It's all wool. There we go. Into the basket you go. All right. And this is nice. How much that is. There's some acorns on it. It's like sunflower. $8. That's a good buy for that. A lot of work went into that. Kitties are cute, though. Very tempting. Acorn. Sweet. Something you could hang on the wall, or a door knob, off a doorknob. Yeah, I like that. That's my favorite. I don't know, when I come back to get the chair, I might pick that up anyway. There's a little doll. Looks like a Boy Scout. I don't know, $6. Probably from the 50s. There's a little dollhouse granny. Some tin cups. I'll pass on her. She's kind of cute, though. I have a doll like this. It's not dressed the same way, but it's, I think, the same doll. This is in very good shape. I think I paid $15 for mine a few years ago. So this is actually a very fair price for this doll, considering inflation. She's in great shape, actually. Wouldn't be much to restore her. Her hair needs a little work. The hair's actually quite soft on that doll. I think they're from the 1940s, those dolls. Okay, I could be wrong, but there's a Victrola. Cookie cutters. There's a bell. I think I'll buy the bell, aluminum bell ornament. Make some more decorations. Yeah, I don't have too many bells. I have some stars. A few bells. Yeah, those are paper dolls from the 50s. Interesting print, but it's quite damaged. Take another look at that. Teen Time. I do love paper dolls, but I don't really collect them. I used to cut out the Betsy McCall doll patterns that came in the dolls that came out in the magazines in the late 50s and 60s and played with those. There's that book, $4. Cover's quite nice on it. Early 20th century, the real Latin Quarter. Yeah, I like the way the book cover looks, but I have hundreds and hundreds of books, so I think I'll pass on that for now. And let's see what's happening over here. George Washington. There's an Easter decoration. It's like a truck. Some animal prints. Those are printed on board. And another old print. I like this jug. This is nice. Pitcher. It's actually a nice price for that, too. It's beautiful. Very nice. Tempting. How long have you been doing this?
10 years.
10 years. Well, I was here maybe 5 years ago and before. So you were relatively new then. But don't you
Yes.
have a family that's involved in this too? No? Oh, that must be somebody else that... Yeah, it's been a while since they've been around. I see something else I'm going to buy. Aha!
I'm going to get that.
I can use that.
Well, I'm going off to another antique store. The lady I was just talking to actually bought 3 of my felted goats. That was a long time ago. I don't know if she remembers it was me that sold them to her. This is a friend of mine that owns this antique store, and there's an old lawn, piece of lawn furniture, a little shed with stuff in it. Usually there's some really good stuff in here. It looks a little sparse today, but things come and go. And her name is Candy. It's called the Sparrow's Nest, and it's a very nice store inside. But I'm not going to go in today. I'm going to come back next week and go through her store then when I have more time and say hello to her. She has some customers right now, so I don't want to bother her. But there's some interesting things in here, some pewterware. There's a box. I want to take a closer look at that box. I think the price is probably on the other side. It's a little hard to get to because it's hanging on a nail. I don't want to take it off. I think it says $10. Yeah, $10. And I'm now at another antiques place, and this is the stuff they have outside. $10 each for these printed lithographed tin toys. I think these are from the late 50s. Could be a little earlier. Really nice. Good buy for those. There's some tractors and some cars, miniatures. I like that. Oh, here's some trains, lithographed trains, $450 for the set. The caboose. I don't see an engine, but still. They're a little larger set than the Lionel trains. Remember the movie Christmas Story? I think it's called The Christmas Story. The boy star of the movie wanted the Red Ryder BB gun so badly, but every time he mentioned it to an adult, they'd say, "You'll shoot your eye out." So, anyway, he did get it in the end. But the comic book is really cool. $15. Very nice. But I don't collect comic books. You know, you have to draw the line somewhere, right? I love comic books, so I'd love to have this, but no, not today. 10 cents it says on the cover. I'm going to check out this wool blanket. $35. It does have an awful lot of moth holes in it, though, so we'll pass on that. Okay, here's some vintage toys. I'm not real familiar with the moving toys, but they do fascinate me. Is that Betty Rubble from the Flintstones? I can't tell. Kind of looks like her, but I don't know. See, they have some older Fisher Price. And there's American plastic bricks in the back. I wonder where those are from. I don't know. They're probably pretty big, the bit bricks. They're not, for making dollhouses, that's for sure. And some older toys there, tricycle and a little rocking horse. Comic books. These are some ones from the 50s and 60s. There's a Mad magazine. My brother's always got the Mad magazines. Jack and Jill, I remember those. The Rifleman, a show we used to watch in the 60s, Bonanza. And what else do we have here? Some newer Barbies, probably from the late, 1990s. There's a vintage Barbie case. But that looks like it's probably from 67 or 68. Let's see. It is 1968, it says on the bottom. $50. That's a little much for that. And here's a mixture of vintage toys and some reproductions. dolls, baby dolls. And yeah, no dollhouse dolls there. There's a Mary doll. Those were very popular, I think in the late 40s and 50s. I could be wrong about the date, but I am familiar with the doll. I'm just not sure about the date. Tiddlywinks. It was a stupid game, but we loved playing it when we were kids. $15. Actually did take some skill. Okay. I'm not seeing a lot of dollhouse stuff. There's some miniature animals, celluloid. I don't want those, so that's a lot of money for those. Another little pie plate. I think I'll get that. That one's $2. It's a little bigger. I think I'll take that. And let's see what else. Some tubs. And turn of the century furniture. Mid-century furniture. There's a mailbox. Probably from an apartment house. And these weird kitsch. I like kitsch, but I don't know what that thing is. A pie safe. I'd love to have a pie safe in my kitchen as a cupboard. There's a screen in front of it. $350. Well, that's not too bad. Some trains. My husband has 2 boxes of trains like these out in our barn, and I've got to get him to bring them in, clean them up, and see if we can get them running one of these days. Okay, we do produce a lot of honey in this area. My husband used to be a beekeeper. We produce a lot of maple syrup in this area. Very good, too. I'm going to buy this. Night Before Christmas. Yeah, I have to have that. And there's a shiny, bright miniature nativity from the 1950s and 60s. Looks like some homemade ornaments. And a little painted Santa head. Yep, gonna take that book. So, I'm looking at it. That's why the camera's not moving. Anyway, there's a barn. That looks like it's from the 1960s. Some Tonka trucks. There's a little Ford, looks like a Ford tractor. There's some John Deere's, some Massey Fergusons, cement mixer, and a horse van. Nice. Some quilts in this place. There's a lot of Amish quilts for sale. I think that's an Amish quilt. They tend to use solid fabrics. I had a doll like this in the 1970s it's from Little Women, and I bought the kit and I made the dress. The dress pattern same, but the fabric was different. I have that boxed away somewhere. Probably get that out sometime. Combination of things here. Quilt, another quilt, turn of the century probably. Okay, I don't see any dolls or dollhouse stuff. Toys, but not a lot of dollhouse furniture or dollhouses today. A few. But there's some tiny stoves, potbelly and wood-burning stoves. There's some lithographed train cabooses and some vintage wax Christmas candles. And Wade china from Red Rose Tea. I've collected a lot of those over the years. They've really gone up in price now. They're $5 and $6 a piece. I had a bowl set like that left from my mother, and I lost it in moving. It had every bowl. They were the different colored ones. There's some more Pyrex. Those were from the 50s. The red, green, yellow, and blue ones. My sister-in-law still has a set left over from her mom. She still uses them. 1970s, back in the back there. Ooh, her eyes are crossed. She looks like a vintage doll with sort of reconstructed dress. German bisque. And a China head doll. Could be a reproduction. The China head dolls look like the reproductions. But that doll in the middle is a composite doll, probably from the 1930s, maybe 40s. No, there's an itty-bitty sewing machine, but guess what it is? It's a salt and pepper shaker. And it's it's $40. I'm not going to buy that. The drawers are for salt and pepper, and they have holes in them. There's some little dolls, but it would look cute in a dollhouse. It's the right size, but here's some doll furniture. Some plastic dolls that look jointed, a lead sink, a lead potty chair. Here's some plastic. Some of these are Plasco. Cute. Very expensive, though. There you go. That one, babies in the crib, is $20. There's some stoves and furniture, dining room furniture, clocks, washing machines, a sink with a hand pump on it, some ovens and refrigerators, and a lounge chair, park bench, piano, ironing boards, dustpan. I like that little clock, but it's $15. I'm only buying the plastic stuff that I can get really cheap at this point because I don't know enough about it. This dealer has a lot of doll furniture that's plastic and very nice, but I don't see much else here. Unless I go around the front, I think there's another cabinet that has some things in it that I should look at. But I don't see any good deals here for me today. Some books in the bottom. I could look at those, but I think I'll hurry along here after I'm done looking at the case below. There's definitely some Plasco toys in there. I have that little island in the back and a sink set. There's another piano, some lounge chairs, baby dolls and cribs and playpens and a slide, little rocking horse things. Okay, we're on our way back now to Hillsdale, and I'm going to visit another antique store. And this antique store is run by a woman who also has some booths in a place called Hog Creek, which is a giant antiques mall in Allen. And she's bought a building in Hillsdale and has opened up a store. So I want to see what she has. I know her slightly. I've seen her a lot. I've bought things from her from Hog Creek. And I just want to see what kind of a store she has. And perhaps I'll buy something. We'll see. From the ad in the paper, it looks like she has a combination of folk art, new stuff, and antique furniture. And here we are, the Crow's Nest. And we're in our farm truck today because I was going to, if I wanted to buy something, I have to have a truck. Ooh, okay. I'm going to buy 2 of these. These are hooked, and they'll last forever. It has a Pennsylvania Dutch design on the seat, so I'm going to buy those. Let's see what else she has. Oh, there's some Halloween decor. It's cute. Ornaments. Winter stuff is already coming out. Gloves and hats, mittens. There's some newer folk art. Folk art paintings. And dressers. And she has a Halloween display over here. Halloween folk art. That's new, but it's cute. I like it. So I did buy those seat covers. And I think I'm going to go back and buy 2 more. I should have bought 4 of them, but I was thinking I only needed 2, but I think I'm going to get 2 more of them. Now we're going back through Hillsdale, the parks, passing one of the parks there on our way. They have some nice parks in Hillsdale, and they're very safe. And as soon as you just get past the parks, the farms begin. And the farms are a little closer together, but then as we go closer to where we live, they get a little further apart. And they just harvested wheat here and baled the straw that's left over. And there's some older farms from the turn of the century, and this is where all the dirt roads are. We don't have very many paved roads where I live. They just planted winter wheat in that field. More winter wheat. It gets planted in August. And there they are. They're planting. And now we're in the hamlet where I live. Well, I don't live in the hamlet. I live 3 miles away on a farm. But we're going to stop here at the little local pub. This is actually a hamlet. It doesn't qualify as a village or a town. We are a hamlet. And there's not a lot of people that live here, but we do have a post office. We have a little pub. We have a gas station. We have a little library and a feed store and a few churches. And we're just about ready to pull up, and I'll be done for the day, and we'll stop here for a little dinner. They have great food, and it's a very charming place inside, although the outside is nothing to look at. And here we are. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. It would help me out. Bye-bye.